Jay, you ready? When you come in, hold before you sit down, I'm gonna slide this in. Come on, man, before you sit down, I'm gonna slide this in. Hey, there you go. Man.
My bad.
Ew. I hope y'all ready. Episode 8?
Episode 8. Oh, it's like, alright, there we go. Right here.
You ready?
Yeah, ready.
There it is. We back. Episode 8 with the Press Onion podcast. Man, got my boy Ty,
yo,
big nephew in here.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving just wrapped up, fellas. What's up? How many pounds y'all gained?
It was clutch.
I don't even know, man.
It was clutch, man.
It feels good though. So whatever I got, it feels good.
I ain't gonna front though. I overate and I felt it every night.
For real?
So for real, like
Man.
I've been on this Slim Daddy movement hard, and I was looking very slim pre-Thanksgiving, and so I'm back. I gotta kick back. Like I tried today, but I couldn't do it today.
Well, we ate early, and then we hit the Black Friday stuff up. So I walked it off because we was all at Target. Target went to the outlet and hit well, we only hit what? Oh, maybe I think at the outlet, but it was clutch though. We had a good time, and then we went back out the next day. So.
But I ate every day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, faithfully. Too much. Every day. So, that's what's up. Everybody had a good Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it felt good.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Let's talk about some little sports real fast. A lot went down since Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
First, we're going to talk about Duke losing.
That
Shout out Todd, man.
Yeah, that was, I mean, at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the game, that was RJ, man. Like, his draft stock dropped a little with that, man. He might still probably be number one. But he just was, I mean, selfish at the end, bro. Like, they ran the same exact play, like 3 times in a row in the last minute or so. And got lucky and got it back after those first 2 times. Third time did the same thing. Kept driving, kept getting stopped at the basket. I'm like, man, kick it out. Like, find an open man. It's like 2 dudes down there with their hands up, and they blocked you every single time you came down there. It was frustrating, man, but hopefully they learn from it. The good thing about
freshman mistakes.
Yeah, and the good thing about basketball, even college basketball is, I mean, there's a lot of games to be played at the end of the day. So it'll be okay. Like, as long as we still get to the tourney, but I just hope you learn from that.
Gotcha.
That's the biggest thing.
All right, I think y'all gonna get it. Just some freshman mistakes.
Yeah.
Against a veteran team.
I think we play again tomorrow against like Indiana or something like that. So we'll see what it's looking like.
Okay. All right, leave Duke alone. Let's talk about the Warriors. The Warriors have destroyed themselves last week. Like, they're fighting each other.
Man, look, they're coming back now a little bit. KD trying to show some assertiveness a little bit now, but
y'all still losing though.
But you know me, I'm just waiting for Steph to come back, so I'm good.
Okay, Steph ain't coming back.
Man, chill out, man. Chill out.
No, hit him on the interstate.
Chill out, man.
Hey, that's Steph right up there, man. You gotta go ahead and handle that.
Steph is out of here.
I hit him up. He good, man.
Okay,
hit him up. Yeah, I talked to him.
I believe it.
Connection.
Let's see, man. Them Lakers, though. Listen, we only lost 2 times in the last 3 weeks, man. And we lost to Orlando twice. That's it. That's cool, though. LeBron messed up on the last game. But I'm going to tell you this, though. I looked at the standings. The Lakers are number 7 in the West. The Clippers are number 1.
Yeah, Clippers? Wow. Clippers been getting off.
The Warriors are number 2.
Okay.
The Lakers could be number 1 in the West right now. If we'd have beat the Orlando Magic them 2 times. We'll be tied for first place.
Is that close?
Yeah, we'll be tied for first place right now with the Clippers. So, what I'm saying is, man, we're only 2 games behind from first place. and we the 7th ranked team. That's all I'm saying. Respect us. And we ain't even getting the rotation yet. We still trying to find out who's gonna be assertive in certain situations, you know.
My just finished giving thanks, so I ain't gonna hate on LeBron today.
You ain't gonna hate on LeBron?
I ain't gonna hate on him today.
Sure enough, you better not.
He doesn't deserve to be hated on.
I'm just saying.
He didn't do anything. He's an innocent man. Just doing his job.
LeBron is balling. Everybody balling. A lot of people balling.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty decent basketball.
It's a nice spot.
Young
Dudes doing their part.
Oh, yo, man. Jay, we put it in a podcast, but man, listen. Last night I was watching the Mayans MC.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, it started off slow, like 3-4 episodes slow, but this first season is only 10 shows.
Okay.
It's good. But they got this dude, I think he like the FBI or the CIA, tall, lanky white guy. He was on Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
Man, I didn't know he was going to be on this show. But as soon as he started talking, I immediately thought of Mr. Coffee. Yes, Mr. Coffee. For y'all who don't know, Mr. Coffee is a guy, he come and get snowballs from me. All he get is coffee flavor.
That's it.
Listen,
buy the bundle too.
Buy the bundle. He come like, we're not even open, but we only open up for him on Sundays. Whenever he wants snowballs, he come and get like 4 or 5 larges every time.
Wow.
Yeah. So
next time he come, let me know because I need to give me a real numbers.
And listen, he's like, you know, he's I don't want to call him. He's not a social person. So like he come off awkward when you first meet him. Yeah. And like even the first time I met him, he came up and he was like, "Do you have a coffee? Let me get a coffee snowball." And I'm thinking like, but I don't even advertise coffee snowballs, you know. And I told him, I said, "Yo, I had the flavor, cause we last year we brought a whole bunch of sample flavors.
Okay. And
we was gonna do this hot cocoa product.
All right, I remember that.
And so I had the coffee flavor here. I said I got it at home. I'm gonna bring it tomorrow. Come back. And come back. And he came back. And he been ever since. And like, other than that,
for just himself though.
Him and his wife. Him and his wife get coffee snowballs. That's it.
Put that in the freezer.
Like he follows. Listen. Like we be out like across town or something. Yeah. He coming. And that's so like when he was talking about the snowballs, like yo man, I got you. When he asked to come, like he was like, I don't know how the white gonna make it doing the winter. And I was like, yo, I got you. But what he do? He freeze them. Yeah, and he said like it's still like the ice still be soft.
What?
And listen, he went to another snowball trailer the week. Well, I'm gonna say they're not snowball, they're shaped ice trailer. Okay. The week we was closed in the end of August, and that dude had called me and was like, yo man, Mr. Coffee came through, and he was like, he told the other shade niggas, he said, you know what man, you probably do got the best ice in the city. He said, cause Mr. Coffee came through when you was gone, and he was like, yeah, nobody has better ice than snowballs. Wow. So for real.
That was good though.
And so like even like when we like, man, we had an event one night, and I knew he was coming, but man, I didn't realize till later, like the trailer, the ice, the ice was thawing out, like it wasn't the temperature we wanted to be, and so good thing the event was going to, it wasn't a free event. We was charging them, huh?
It was charging them.
Yeah, it was charging them. Yeah, so when Mr. Coffee came, I was like, yo, I said, the ice ain't what it's, cracked up to be what it's normally. Yeah. I said, so like, don't worry about paying. He was like, no, I'm gonna pay. I'm like, all right. And so he was like, he came, after that event, he came back, and I was like, so how was the ice? He's like, Well, we like the other ice. He said it was good, but we like the other ice. And so
honestly though, I like that.
Yeah, but and like I show him love, man. I be like, all right, well, this time is on us, because he had paid. Like he come and get larges.
Yeah.
Nothing less than larges.
That's good.
So for real, and so just show him love. But man, I'm gonna have to find a clip to show you, old boy. You gonna be like, yes, that's Mr. Coffee. So. But yeah, that was my little thing. I watched it. My MC finished it last night. Real dope. It ain't cracked up to Sons of Anarchy yet, but it's up there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put you on to another show, The Manifest.
Oh, I've been wanting to see that.
Yo,
is it ABC or NBC?
I don't even know.
It might not even be.
It come on tonight at 9:00 though.
Okay.
But I watched it. I ain't gonna tell people how I watch TV, but I watched it. I binge watched it on Monday.
Producers are lost, right?
It might be because it favors Lost.
I mean, Lost.
But listen, last Monday, it's 8 shows in. I watched all 8 shows. Never did I doze off? I may have dozed off here and there.
Really?
But I would say I was always interested.
Good like that.
All 8 shows. I'm on it. Definitely, y'all should watch that. That's my shows for y'all. I gotta find a new show. So if somebody know a new show, tag me in it.
I heard some show called it's on Prime though. The Tunnel.
The Tunnel?
Yeah, The Tunnel. I heard it's pretty good.
I'm gonna look on Prime because I'm a Prime member.
I haven't seen it yet, but I actually just heard that today. It's like a British show though, I think. Or something.
Most of the Prime shows are from overseas.
Yeah.
I want to watch Homecoming, but I was told it wasn't good.
Really? I heard that was supposed to be good.
But see, you got my Julie Roberts.
Right.
Then they got old boy. They got Lip in there from Shameless. If y'all ever watch Shameless is this show. It's crazy now. Like I ain't gonna promote it. But I would just let you know if you watch it, the name says it all. Shameless. So don't be surprised when you see stuff on that joke. But Homecoming is the only thing I know I want to watch. But somebody told me it was bad.
Oh.
Well, yo man, we're gonna talk about
Dwight.
Oh, y'all want to talk about Dwight Howard? That's a good thing. Cause
look, you were talking about the NBA. I thought you would have brought it up.
You know what? Hey man, I ain't on my current events like that. So, let's talk about Dwight Howard.
Look, man,
what y'all think?
I saw the video. I heard the video.
Yeah.
Like, heard. I don't know what it is. Calling, and then Dwight was in the back. He was like, "No, I never." And then I was like, "No, that's Dwight."
So do y'all? I'm gonna say this, for the listeners, in case they don't know the background of it. Transsexual came out and basically exposed Dwight Howard for being undercover.
A lot of memes out there now.
And all right, before we even go any further, is it okay for the transsexual to expose an undercover person when they know the person was undercover up front?
No.
So the transsexual is wrong for exposing them?
Yes. He has.
I say yeah just because, like, to me, like, what we do in private, like, should just stay private. But, but at the same time, Dwight, bro, like, you gotta be smarter than that. Dude. Like, if you gonna do something like that, like, just be prepared, like, that it may come out. For one, you famous, so it don't even matter if you dealing with you dealing straight up with a female. Like, females be on that, like trying to put people on blast, famous people on blast. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just that tough. I'm just like, bro, you have to be smarter than that.
You're right. I think he's a smart guy.
Yeah. And
the reason I say that is like, like the baby mama, she on the NDA, she can't say nothing.
Right.
So I would assume any female that he messed with is on the NDA.
But that probably was secret even from his team. Like.
But I would say, I don't even think him and that particular female was transsexual ever did something.
See, that's the thing.
I don't think they ever did something.
Yeah, it's tough to believe, but I don't know.
And I'm gonna tell you the reason why I feel that way. I feel that way because simply, she talks about the NDA, right? Okay. They trying to force her to sign an NDA, but like, why would he do something with you before the NDA? Yeah. And like, she making it seem like they trying like harming or saying they're gonna hurt her. I don't even know if they're calling him or her.
It's a him.
I know, but I don't know, like...
The politically correct.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think it's whatever they identify as. So, yeah.
I'm assuming it identifies as a woman.
Yeah.
So, then she's saying, like, you know, they trying to give her money, hush money, and she don't want to take the hush money. But I'm going to just say, like, I feel that it's reversed. It's maybe...
You're trying to get something out of it.
She was trying to get something... And she exposing them. I'm going to say this. Sexuality cannot be used as a weapon. I don't agree with that one.
That's tough.
Go ahead.
The reason I say it was wrong was because you got people that look up to Dwight. I mean, he's an NBA player, and then for that to... I just didn't want to believe it.
But what about...
I'm still not going to believe it, man.
What about the reports from earlier this month or last month where he was hurt and he couldn't play? They said it was a spine injury. And they came back on Yahoo and said it was a butt injury.
I remember that from when they first reported it.
Yeah,
everybody was like, bro, like...
I didn't even know until today.
Yeah, I remember when it first happened because everybody was saying like, man, how weak are you to be sitting out for a butt injury? It's just strange, but I don't know. That's funny. Like, if nothing else, that makes it funny. And then, of course, all of the memes and all of the videos that they're doing.
Oh, they're gonna kill him.
It's over.
You seen the almond D from Martin? What?
This one
you remember the episode of Martin? Well, there's been a couple of them, but the dude, he was talking to Martin. He like, with your almond self. They put Dwight Howard face on him.
Oh, wow.
They got so many.
It's hilarious.
I haven't seen him yet.
They got so many memes of Dwight.
It's funny, but I mean, like I said, man, you got to be more careful. And I think part of the uproar is like, so it's gonna be certain guys, of course, that are gonna look at them if it's true. They're gonna look at them and they're gonna like be like, yo, they just gonna look down on them. Like it just is what it is. Like that's our society. You know, people. It's gonna be people that's gonna look down on them. But then it's like it's other people where it's kind of like I think they're looking at it like, if it's true, just say it's true. Like if it's true,
yeah, that's what a lot of people say. Like,
come out with it.
But I don't think he can come out with that.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Not like I'll say this. As much as man, it was a post. I'm glad we brought that up. I'm gonna show y'all. Because I screenshotted this post, and we actually gonna make it a whole show. Okay. It is actually it don't tie into this Dwight Howard thing, but it do because Dwight Howard, like we look at athletes that they can't be gay. Right. You know, it's taboo. Right. But we accept gay men in other ways of life. Yeah. For sure. So with him being an athlete, it can't come out because even when I seen this first one, somebody sent it to me, and I think it was maybe Boss of it. It was like, why is Dwight Howard trending this morning? That was the caption. They didn't say nothing. They just had all the stuff that you seen, like the text messages and all that. Yeah. And it was just like, why is he trending this morning? But I seen, to me personally, man, I don't think, like, if I'm gonna just say this, transsexual individuals, they gotta pick. They can't play both sides of the field. And I'm not talking about sex-wise. I'm talking about in the way they handle things. Yeah. Like, they cool with when you sleeping with them, but we see in from public knowledge. But once things go sour, they want to expose you.
Shout out Bobby Valentino.
Oh,
they did the same thing. Oh man, I had to say it.
But I mean, you're right though. Like
we gotta gotta pick a side.
You're right. It's like I think, and it's crazy because it's like I don't know. You know, a lot of people, if you're not like dealing with what they deal with, or you're not living the life that they live in and all that stuff, they don't want you to like speak on them and all that kind of stuff. But to me, at least, I mean, like I find that a lot where they, you know, that like people in certain communities do kind of almost like play like a victim role at times. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not saying that everybody does that, but like you do have those individuals, and I mean, and that's in almost any community that can be oppressed in a sense or whatever. You always have people who like to like kind of put a spotlight on this victim role, but it's kind of like that's what this person I feel is doing is like, you know, really outside of him being famous and stuff and you being transgender or transsexual. I know it's two different things, but I don't know which one she is.
I'm saying transsexual.
Yeah, I know they're two different things, but I'm not sure which. I can't remember which one she is.
I'm gonna say trans.
I just say trans.
I'm gonna say yeah, just say trans.
So,
I don't want to upset nobody.
But
it really doesn't matter.
But like that's kind of what I feel like she's doing is like playing like this victim role, like because she decided. I don't know. I guess he decided like. I don't know what, like, did he cheat on her? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did he step
I think, man, like, I think whatever she's saying is what it happened in reverse.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she exposing the whole crew. Like, he probably did go to the parties, but maybe, I'm going to say this, because if you read the stuff, it was like, she was saying, like, he sent threatening messages. He sent her information from a fake Insta. Or she told him to go to a fake Insta.
Right, I heard
that. But when you look on his Insta and she posted something from his Insta, a video screenshot, and she was on his personal one saying like, "Do your family know you like, you know?" And he was like, "I'm not talking about that." And so it was never, to me personally, all the incriminating evidence that she was saying she had. She should have put that out. She should have put something concrete enough to let us know, oh, she ain't make this up.
Exactly.
Like,
my thing is, if you gonna come out and expose, you might as well go ahead and like put the receipts out there. Like let it, because my thing is like you can't come out and say, oh, he this way. Oh, I got the evidence, but not put the evidence
I can't put it out there.
Like that don't make sense.
No, man.
Like unless you hold it back on purpose to get some money.
Bingo.
So it's like even if it's true and you got that the receipts, the evidence, and all that, you hold it back for money, which make it even worse. Because to me, like it's not right if Dwight is gay and he on the down low, he on the cover, whatever you want to call it, it's not right for him to lead that type of life. Like if you're gonna be, and you can be attracted to men and women, you can be bisexual, you know, but at the same time, like be honest about it. Like you can't sit up there and sleep with men and then turn around and want to sleep with women as well and not be honest about it and make it seem like that life ain't even real.
Correct.
Like, be real about it. Now, a lot of the prospects that you're probably looking at female-wise from what I know from females, like a lot of females not trying to deal with a dude that sleep with other guys. Like that's just not what they want. But I mean, you gonna find some out there that will. Like some gonna deal with it. The thing is though, like, again, be honest and upfront about it. But like you said, I don't think he can come out with that because we have a certain way that we look at athletes, how we look at a man that we look at in a sense that's supposed to be a masculine guy, that's supposed to be, this superior, like, like you said, for alpha, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we look, that's how, if a woman, if the people looking up to him are looking at him like that and he come out with this, he won't be looked at in that same light. I mean, it's unfortunate because maybe he feel like he can't be himself because of that, but it is what it is. But like, if you're gonna live your real life, like, unfortunately, brother, Like, you know, it ain't right to live a lie in that aspect, you know.
Yeah, I think you gotta be truthful with every party. But I will say this. At the end of the day, he may be wrong if he is bisexual we don't know if he's talking to the woman, saying,
right.
Hey, I do this, I do that. But I'll say, more than likely, this female that is trying to expose him, she knew that his information wasn't public knowledge.
Yeah.
And I think on her part, that's wrong.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have exposed him. Like, I don't care. You always got to give that person the right to give their information out, you know?
Most definitely. You never, like, that's the type of stuff to me, you just don't put people's business out there like that. Like, I mean, in due time, if they do it at all, like, let them come out with it on his own. Let them, you know. Like,
what you say, nephew?
She's wrong.
That's
all I know.
She's wrong.
You're wrong.
All right.
That's wrong.
Okay, well, that's good. Good topic to talk about, nephew. Man, we're going to talk about the Birmingham shooting at the Galleria Mall on Black Friday. And, you know, it's been a big buzz in the state. Even got some national press as well.
Yeah.
And so just to give the general of it, Black Friday shopping, they say somebody started shooting on, you know, in the mall next to JCPenney and Foot Action, I think, in the mall. And so they said this particular one guy got killed by the police, named E.J. Bradford. And from what the people were saying, initially, they were saying, you know, he was helping. The police basically came and shot him, killed him. Because they said he was brandishing a gun, but the people say there's a lot of people brandishing guns on protection reasons. And police came in, didn't ask no questions, killed the guy. End up, another person got shot, 18-year-old, and a 12-year-old got shot in the back, they say.
Yeah.
But what I read up, 12-year-old was shot, but it didn't go to the spine or something like that, as they was reporting. So I think that kid is going to be released by the end of the week. They didn't really say any updates on the 18-year-old, but main guy, EJ, basically they did a press conference, actually got shot in the face.
Wow.
You know, and during the press conference, they hired the dude out of Florida, Crump.
Yeah.
He been the, I guess you can say he's more the go-to guy for racial.
Yeah, kind of like celebrity
type. You know, for issues with the police and the black community that get some national attention. And so they got him, but he announced, like, the grandmother didn't even know that until he was announcing at the press conference.
They got shot in the face.
Yeah, she passed out.
Wow.
You know? So, as of right now, a couple things happened. Police came back the next day, said he likely wasn't the shooter on Friday. Or on Saturday. They also say his gun wasn't fired, you know, wasn't shot. His gun wasn't used that day. So that's a big issue. Then the family came out, said the police never even told them he was killed. They had to, like, reach out to the coroner's office, and police never even called the home or showed up to the home or never actually gave an apology until this morning.
All they did
and it wasn't even an apology to him, to the family. It was an apology for the situation, you know. And so what they say, like, with the guy, like, you know, let's see, that happened then right before y'all got in here tonight. Hoover's city council is meeting to talk about a potential lawsuit. that is going to be coming against the city, which is probably a must. The family asked for transparency with the investigation, and they asked for an apology. They got the apology today, but I don't think it was the apology they was looking for. Right. We don't know who the officer who did the shooting. Don't know his name. Don't know his background. What else happened with the situation? They did a report last night, man. I looked at it. I won't even say what I looked at it as, but they did a report last night on AL saying that a 70-year-old woman was airlifted to Mobile, and had like bruising on, like blood on the brain and internal bleeding or bruises and stuff like that. And a lot of people on social media looked at it like, yo, they trying to deflect. Like, why is they mentioning this one, made this big story for this one person? Yeah. Then, even today, they've been, like, the police is trying to put the narrative towards, it was a fight that broke out about some shoes releasing on Good Friday that night. I personally don't even, I'm going to just say, lately, you don't even wait in line for shoes no more, for real. Ride for life. Right. Online, and I don't know any store like that's releasing shoes at night. Right. So I know here the only shoes that was coming out was the Jordan 12s, the all red joints, and some Air Maxes. But they all was released on Saturday. None of them sold out. So, that's what seemed like the storyline. Yeah. So, how y'all feel about, this guy was he had papers to carry a gun.
Yeah, he was ex-military or something, right?
Ex-military. They also saying he's not military because he went to basic training and got discharged as a general discharge in basic training. So they saying like he ain't even military. That's what the comments are saying. Yeah. But if he got discharge papers, he was in the military. Right. No matter how many days, weeks, however long he was in that job for 3 hours. If they discharged him and had to give him papers, he was in there. So you can't discredit, who he is or if he was in the military or not. Yeah. Like, how do we, this dude is illegal. Right. Can tow the gun, in a holster, in the public, period, right. And we got the narrative, we don't know no videos of what the videos say, but also the city of Hoover, they say they released everything to the ALEA, or the SBI, basically the state, FBI system, and they're gonna handle the investigation. So they say they're not releasing they can't release no videos.
Oh, they can't?
That's what they say, because they gave it up. And whenever the SBI and the ALEA, I think that's what they call, want to release it, they'll release it. Yeah. So they basically took their hands away from it after, but I just feel like, they should release a video. Yeah, definitely. Just to I think and they also said today, the police said he brandished the gun.
Yeah, that's what's coming across the screen right now.
So if he I'll just say, something like that part, you need to show at least that part. Right.
Right. Back up the claims.
To back up that claim to ease the tension, because I think it's, Hoover, for outsiders, Hoover is a very affluent area in Birmingham area, so people already saying they don't Hoover, they want to take it back to the good old days. You know what I'm saying? And leave
make Hoover great again.
Yeah, take the blacks out of Hoover. Crazy. So, how y'all feel just about the situation in general? When you seen it?
Man,
I didn't know the whole thing when I saw it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't know the whole. Yeah,
when I just kind of saw it. Yeah. When I first saw them, I think I heard it. or what I first saw was people posting. Was it the next day? Yeah, I think it was the next day. The next morning, I saw people posting or reposting the mother of the 12-year-old, reposting like her status on Facebook. She was kind of giving an update on her daughter about the whole thing about her being shot in the back, and if it didn't hit the spine, then they would release her and all of that kind of stuff. Wouldn't have to do surgery. They wouldn't do surgery. They would just leave it where it was at and all of that kind of stuff. And so, and then later on, that's when I kind of found out about the guy getting killed. And honestly, man, like once I start hearing more information about it, honestly, it kind of sounded like the same old song to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same exact thing. And my thing is this: so like, even if he was brandishing a gun, you are a police officer. You are a police unit that goes through specific training to try your best to de-escalate those situations.
Right.
And so, like, one of the things that, like, one of the things that I would say, like, our community as a black community says a lot, which to me, like, I don't like for people to make comments, like, general comments about every, so, like, I don't like when people make a general comment about blacks that they, you know, it's pretty much in a sense it's a stereotype or whatever, when it does not necessarily apply to every single black person or just people in general and stuff. So, like, people make this comment all the time where people say, you know, look, they took this white shooter, this white gunman who went into the church in Charleston, or who, you know, and they took him to Burger King or whatever afterwards, or something like that. Or they take, like, the people who, these white males who commit these terrorist acts on American soil, the police come in and somehow take them away without them being killed in many instances. And it's not to say that they never kill a white person or whatever they do, but they, in many instances, especially the big public type of incidents that happen, like, a lot of times they get them out of there alive. Even though they've gone in and have, like, knowingly killed multiple people, and they get them out of there alive, and people are always saying, like, how come they can get them out alive, but not the black man? And I'm like, you know, in my mind, I'm always like, I get it, but at the same time, this is the police force in this city, or this is the police force in this city. It's not the police force that killed this person, so maybe that's why. But it's like, after so many times of that happening, you cannot help but to say that there is an issue with that. I mean, there's no way you can tell. I don't care if the police force in New York who killed the guy with the cigarette is different from the police force in Charleston that took my man from the church freely. Yeah, it's two different police forces or whatever units, but you switch them, it might still be the same exact result if the New York ones were in Charleston and the Charleston ones were in New York. With my man, I can't think of his name right now. The dude who was selling the cigarettes or the CDs or something.
Yeah.
And they killed him or whatever. They suffocated him or whatever.
Eric Garner.
Yeah, Eric Garner. So it's like, you know, it's just like after so many times of that type of stuff happening, man, and like reading up on certain articles or even hearing like from ex-police officers saying that like that where they're from, and I think this was a police officer from, I want to say like maybe Baltimore area or something like that, where they're told in a sense to look at African American males as more of a threat. To look at them more in a more savage way because they stereotype us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the tough part. Like, is that no matter like how many times we go out there and we try to advocate for our rights or advocate for these types of things to get better and stuff, like even if they ever do get better, it'll never stop though. Right. And I think that's what's one of the toughest things about it is because they just look at us in a certain light. Like, you know, when I remember back when I was in college, I was selling vacuum cleaners at one point, and it was so
Kirby's.
Yeah, Kirby's. And it's so crazy to me, like, same neighborhood, same area, it could be a white male going and knocking on somebody's door, and they're so anybody, they're so easy to just come open up the door. And there was so many times, like, I'm a big teddy bear, like, and I didn't even have my full beard and all that shit, but I could go and knock on somebody's door, and they're sitting back just looking like, can I help you? Like, you know, through the door, like, I'm not about to open the door for you. Right. And, you know, I can put on my nicest voice and everything, and that may, like, ease them to a certain extent, but at the same time, like, there were so many people who were just like, nope. Or I would even see people come to the door and look and just see me and just walk away. They never even say anything to the door. You know, and so it's kind of like, it's tough, you know. I mean, I find pros and cons about being a black man, I guess, in a sense. Like, to me, a pro about it is like, with that same fear kind of, for me, I feel like comes authority and respect a little bit. Like, I feel like if I walk in a room, then I'm commanding a certain kind of respect, but at the same time, I know there's so much fear still behind it for nothing. Like, never done anything to anybody, like, you know, in my life. And so, but it's like, just with the stigma of what a black man is to so many people.
Oh yeah.
I could come around somebody and they have a certain outlook on me, like, without
knowing you.
And that's the scary part. And there was I think it was last year. It was so crazy. I was coming from your house, actually. I was coming from out here, headed home one night, and I think it was me and Veronica, or it actually might have been a year before that. It was actually before TJ got here. And me and Veronica were leaving from over here, and we were headed back home, and I want to say it was probably maybe 1 or something in the morning, and I literally, like, my palms are sweaty, like I was kind of shaking a little bit. Mm-hmm. Nothing had just happened to me or anything like that, but it was 1 o'clock in the morning. There were no cars on the road, really, outside of myself and one that I might pass every now and then. And all I could do was, like, keep looking around, like, for like cops. Like, I hope no cop is hiding somewhere, and I'm driving a little bit over the speed. Like, I wanted like no cop to be around, like no opportunity for me to be pulled over. Right. Whether I was by myself or whether I was with my wife, and I was with Veronica at the time, but you know, it was just the thought of the possibility of being pulled over. And I remember when we left, like we pulled away from here, I ended up telling her, hey, do me a favor. I had her open the glove box up. I made it, I said, is the registration right there in the front? And she was like, yeah. I said, okay, cool. Like, if we happen to get pulled over, just pull it out right away. Mm-hmm. Pulled my wallet out, had it sitting on the side, because I was like, if I get pulled over, I'm going to make sure the window's down and I have it all, like, sitting out the window as soon as they get there. So I have no reason to sit up, reach for anything. It's all sitting right there waiting for them. And when I got home, you know, of course nothing happened, but when I got home, it was just like, wow, like,
you gotta go through that.
How crazy is that? Like that I even have to sit back and even think those thoughts. Like you know, and it prompted me to put a post up the next day on Facebook about it or whatever. And nothing had happened to me at all, but it was just the fact that so many people have something to say about how we feel. Mm-hmm. Like when we say, you know, there's this injustice to our community, there's an injustice when it comes to the way they treat black males especially, and how so many people outside of our community comment on it. Mm-hmm. And have so much to say and say, well, if you do this, well, if you do this, well, if you do this. And it's so crazy because I've had one ticket in my life. Uh-huh. One ticket, and that was for no insurance, which wasn't even on my car. It wasn't even my car I was driving. Outside of that, I've never had any run-ins with the law, nothing. Like, clean, super clean record, everything. But the fact that I'm sitting back thinking that to myself, like, if I get pulled over, there's a chance that one wrong move could cause me to die. Yeah. That's, to me, it's crazy. And I don't care, like, how anybody outside of, like, our community feels about it. Like, you cannot speak on something like that until you actually have to live a day in our lives. And so for me, when I heard all of this stuff, like, honestly, it brought me back to that moment. And it brought me back to, like, that man didn't know he was about to die that day going into that mall. And when he's helping those people, regardless of if he was brandishing a gun or not, the cops should have been able to peacefully make him put the gun down.
Man, if anything, shoot him in the leg. Like I'm gonna say, you don't gotta shoot to kill.
No, and that's the first thing that they do when it comes to us, which is
right.
So tripped out, man. But
that's
what it brought me back to is just like you have to be careful in every single situation, and it's sad to think that man was out there trying to help people get out of harm's way.
Oh yeah, and this post, like, I went through, like, I normally do not go through, like, comments.
Right.
But I went through some today and yesterday, and, like, it's literally, like, what people on there, like, yo, like, he was helping he helped me and my daughter get to safety, you know?
Yeah.
When I first saw that post, well, I didn't see a post. I saw it, like, I forget, but I saw it. It made it seem like he was, like,
the villain.
And I was like, man, that's unfortunate. And then it was like he was killed that same night. I was like, you know. But it did show all the other stuff too. But it made it seem like he was the villain. I didn't look into it more.
Gotcha.
But I'm glad I saw.
I'm gonna tell you. It was also, they did have one video out there. You see him leaking out.
The dude?
Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, man, I don't get police, and you see it a lot, like, you know, they'll shoot a guy, have him handcuffed.
Yeah,
and won't even, like, they would still be roughing him up after shooting him.
I don't get that, bro.
And gotta handcuff him.
Yes.
And I'm like, brother, you didn't knock the gun away.
I don't get it.
And I'm gonna just say, you didn't see no gun on the ground.
Yeah.
As well, so like, he was on the ground, like, you know, I didn't see, like, maybe I didn't get to see, like, just a clear view, but, you seen him on the ground, blood leaking out of him.
Bro,
and
they that scared of it.
They still, like, nobody even offered CPR, nothing to my man. Like,
and that's what a lot of people, I kept seeing too, that's what a lot of people were talking about. How, like, it was all this attention, and I get it, it was all this attention to the two victims or whatever of the shooting, who got shot or whatever, and like nothing would have came to my man, like nothing.
Yo, and they said, and I'm gonna just, it's like, you know, it's all hearsay right now. There was like even a nurse was on the scene, you know, saying, you know, like wanting to help.
Wow.
And I'm gonna tell you, I've been in situations with police like that could have went left.
Yeah.
And like the biggest situation I was in, I don't even remember how old I was, man, but it was here in Huntsville, and I'm gonna say, police have, like, if you don't believe it, they don't care for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like, I don't go into no situation thinking the police is my friend.
Right.
I'm sorry, like, in this situation, man, we was in a parking lot, Walmart parking lot on Drake, before they built the new, they tore it down. But it was on Drake before, way back in the day. And I went to go pay my Nextel bill. That's how long ago it is.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
And, man, I walk out, it's me and my homeboy, we're waiting on his cousin to come. They was living together. And we waiting, and like, she had the music up when she pulled up. The police was just in there, they did a drug bust. And we're probably like 10 to 12 cars away. Like, we're at the head of the Walmart line where you go in, but we just parallel with it. And they far away from us. And she had the music up. The officer yelled, like, turn that F off, you know?
Yeah.
And he came over there on some just over authority, too much authority, man.
Yeah.
And like, he basically, like, he reached in the car, trying to take the keys, all that stuff from her.
What?
Female in the car. And like at this, I had an Excel. I bagged up by my truck at a Suburban at the time, and I was recording it.
Yeah.
Now you know, we as black people, we always tell people what's going on. Like she, like you know, record it, you know, all of this, and like so another officer came up to me, straight like I'm gonna just say it was no conversation, straight like, give me your phone. I'm like, you can't have my phone.
Yeah.
Well, you under arrest. And I'm like, what am I under arrest for? Yelling in Walmart parking lot. That's what he told me, man. So for real.
What?
Yes. I turn around, you know, I put my phone in my pocket.
Yeah.
And so, but when he said I was under arrest, you know, it's either gonna be resisting it or just comply. I complied, like, yo, man. So, you know, he put some cuffs on me. I turned around. By this time, he didn't, the other officer then basically pulled the other girl out the car. And pepper sprayed her, all kind of stuff, bro. What? Slammed her, like WWF style. What? You know, slammed her on the ground. And pepper sprayed it and like didn't want to give her no water. Was talking about like you gotta wait till the ambulance come, all of that, you know. And just at the end of the day, man, I'm gonna tell you, like how we like when you're in a work environment or a call center environment, they tell you like, yo, man, let that phone call be that whatever that last phone call was, end it. Go to the next call, new attitude, but find out. Whatever happened over here with this drug bust, their informant didn't produce. You know, so on some pissed off stuff, took his frustration out on her. You know, and like, we went to court, all that crap. Like, you know, and the city don't care, man. Being real, man. Like, just being we was like doing the civil, like, I'll say this, I ended up going to court for criminal side. Criminal side, I went in there and said, not guilty. They go, like, they hold you in there, and then they was like, you sure you want to be not guilty? I'm like, yeah, I ain't do nothing. Like, even before that, when we was they booked us. We in the book, and the officer, like, telling me, like, he wrote down harassment. I said, man, I ain't harassing no officer. He scratched it out and changed it to disorderly conduct. Wow. And took my cell phone.
Just put down whatever they want to.
Put down what they want. Took my cell phone and took it with him. Didn't leave it. We got bailed out that night. I had to go to the narcotics unit downtown to get my cell phone. Took my cell phone and went through my cell phone and deleted like videos. Left one of them in there. Deleted 2 of the videos. Wow. And just saying, like, you know, you say like all this stuff is in court, man. They go in there to court. I'm like, nah, I'm not guilty. They literally put me on hold for another hour in there. Came back, was like, oh yeah, we got a gun charge for you. I'm like, what? So I said, nope, don't have no gun charge. You know, we confused the paperwork with the other guy. With one of the other guys from the drug bust they had. Wow, bro. Oh yeah. And so I came back, I'm assuming they called them. And after all of that, then they came back, it was like, well, it's Christmas in July. You know? Like, the charge is gonna be dropped. Like, I already knew. Like, I'm just saying, like, you know, a lot of stuff is, I'm going to just say, they want you to mess up so they can get you.
Boy, yes.
And
true story.
That happened. We went to civil court. Like, her stuff ended up being dropped later, her criminal stuff. All that was dropped. Went to the civil court. Buddy, the city, I'm going to just say, don't trust them.
Oh, I believe it.
Listen, they all work together. Like, as much as they in the wrong, couldn't get no apology out of them. Yeah. Couldn't, like, I'm just saying, like, we was in mediation. And I'm I'm gonna just say about it. It was like, oh well, we can, not, what's the word they use? I'm gonna say recommend. Like that they can settle it to the city for this amount. And just to go on record, never got no money from the city.
Really?
No. Nothing. You know, and I'm just like, but they make it like, oh well, we only can tell the city what we think you should get. They gotta vote on it. Yeah, being real, man. Like, so when you look at stuff, and this is back in the day. So like when all this new stuff started happening, I'm like, yo, man, easily could have been a victim.
Yep.
In that situation. Yes, I was a victim. But I'm talking like a fatal victim.
Yeah.
And so, like, to see the stuff, how they portrayed, oh, he was the shooter, we apprehended him.
Yep.
Instantly, like, all in one, this at night, man, within an hour after, we apprehended the shooter, all of this stuff. Come out the next day, I'm sorry, like, I think city or the police should have just instantly, like, apologized to the family, went to the family house, and offered their condolences. But now it's more of a hardball game.
And that's what they do. They do that, like, stuff like that come out, and then they want to keep it all in-house originally.
Yeah.
And they want to go ahead and, like, try to figure out what's going on in-house and stuff like that. And it's like, I mean, the stuff be plain as day. Like, they be plain as day. And it's so crazy, like, that you said that, like, I was, a few years ago, I was in Detroit for my cousins. One of my cousins was getting married, and my other cousin, he was graduating from college.
Mm-hmm.
They had a party for graduating from college, and it was in Dearborn, Michigan, which is kind of like a little house, like a Madison to Huntsville or whatever. And so we were in Dearborn. We were at his party. It was at a clubhouse at my uncle's apartment complex. Very nice, clubhouse, whatever. Good amount of people there or whatever, and it was so crazy because my mom was there. She had just said to me and some of my cousins, like, it's so good that you get like all these young black kids together and there's no craziness.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe about 15, 20 minutes later, somebody started shooting. And there was it was an issue with my cousin who was graduating, kind of checking these guys for talking to his mama disrespectful or whatever. And, some stuff had ensued, but that's neither here nor there. So after all that happened, the cops come, of course. And so they come in and, everybody's trying to tell them what happened or whatever. Because, it was a big mess. Like, people ran out the back door and, like, tore the door out the frame, trying to get out the back. It was crazy. Tables was thrown everywhere. Food was smashed to the floor from people running and stuff. And so, anyways, cops come. It's just my family left at this point. Because my older cousins, they had kicked everybody out. They wasn't family. And so, they telling the cops what happened. So the cops go outside, and I think they take more statements. They're trying to figure out everything that's happening. While we're on the inside, two of my cousins that are actually sisters, they get into it. Like, people was drunk or whatever the case may be. So it's all family here. Mm-hmm. But a couple people got into it, and a fight ensues between my cousins. And when that happens, their brother steps in, trying to break it up. But it's just a whole bunch of ruckus at this point, just like everybody yelling and stuff. So the cops run in. And start trying to break everything up. Mm-hmm. But what they don't even realize is that this is all brothers and sisters really at this point, like arguing with each other, just yelling at each other. It's like no real harm is about to happen. They brothers and sisters get into a little fight or whatever. The cops come in though to try to break it up. It's a few of them. And they start breaking people up and throwing people to the ground. Threw my pregnant cousin down to the ground. Oh. So they start doing all this. And so, of course, other people coming in, other cousins and stuff, yelling, what are y'all doing? She pregnant, all this stuff like that. Grab another girl, throw her to the ground. Like, get out our face with that, pretty much. Just throwing people to the ground. And then my pregnant cousin, her boyfriend, he jumped up, of course, because he's mad. Mm-hmm. So they grabbed him, put him on the couch, cuffed him. He ended up going to jail that night for just trying to tell him his girlfriend is pregnant. Mm-hmm. Chill out. So then my brother brother's 6'5", you know what I'm saying? He, you know, athletically built kind of guy, whatever. And it's funny because my brother had already said that there was a tall white cop that had, from jump when he came in there, he just was already looking at my brother. Yeah.
I'm gonna get him.
Just looking at my brother. And so my brother, he like, yo, what are y'all doing? Like he telling them like, yo, y'all throwing pregnant women to the ground. Like y'all supposed to be the cops. Like you know what I'm saying? Y'all throwing pregnant women who can't harm you in any way, shape, or form. Y'all throwing pregnant women to the ground. And just throwing women in general down to the ground. Haven't thrown not one man to the ground, throwing women down to the ground and stuff like that. And he just like, what are y'all doing? Like, you know, and we both kind of like saying like, yo, like what's happening here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing, like nobody in here is armed, nothing, like they just fighting amongst each other, whatever. So my brother, he had been drinking that night, but he wasn't drunk. And so he, you know, my brother just, he got a bad temper. And so he keeps snapping, he keeps going off, and they trying to like clear everybody out of there at this point. And so my brother's still talking. And so the cop, he was like, you keep talking, I'm gonna take you down, I'm taking you to the jail, taking you to jail and stuff like that. My brother like, take me to jail for what? Like, I know my rights, I haven't done nothing, I'm trying to have a conversation with you to ask you why you throwing pregnant women on the ground. Cop, of course, not trying to hear, all right, you got one more time, you know. And so my mom, she's screaming. They grabbing my brother, pushing him out, like, get out, get out, get out. And so it was a female officer at the door as we were walking out. I just looked at her and said, ma'am, all we're trying to tell everybody, all we're trying to tell you all is that, you know, the first woman that y'all threw down, she's pregnant. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be careful with her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Luckily nothing happened, but it's like, you don't even realize, like, y'all could be sued for that.
Right.
For throwing her down to the ground like that. Anyway, so we trying to explain it to the woman, and she just like, get out, just go, just get out. I'm just like, okay. So we get out. And my brother, we were all in town at the time, and he had rented a Camaro or whatever. And so him and the cop still steady going at it. And then the cop starts walking over to us. He was like, that's it. And so my mama is just screaming and just like, Brandon, get in the car, grabbing him. And my brother finally sits down in the car. But then everybody has to tell him then, like, nope, give up the keys, because they waiting on you as soon as you pull off. Right. They're going to be waiting on you to pull off just a little bit. They're going to pull you over as soon as you pull off and try to get you for a DUI. Because now they really want to get you.
Right.
So my brother's mad or whatever the case may be, and he's just like, I'm not drunk. I ain't, you know, and everybody like, we know, like, but they going to try to get you on something. Like, you know, and so finally, he ended up giving up the keys. They gave me the keys or whatever, so that my uncle lived like right around the corner. And so everybody was just gonna like meet up over there. And so finally he gave me the keys, and I just pulled over there to my uncle's or whatever the case may be. But it was just like that target. Like as soon as they came in, the dude was staring at my brother. Like my brother hadn't said nothing, hadn't done nothing. He was just staring at my brother, just looking him up and down, like
sizing him up.
Yeah, and it's just like, what? Like, what do you need? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because, like, I know if my brother wasn't in the room, he probably would have did it to me, because then I would have been, like, the biggest one in the room. But he was looking, caught my brother and just sizing him up, just up and down, just looking at him. Like, and it's just like, what do you want, bro? Like, what do you want? Like, come here and be the police. Like, come here, do what your job is. Do what your job entails. You don't have to size me up. I'm not looking at you. I'm not touching my waistband. I'm not doing nothing. I'm sitting here with my family, where somebody else has not shot up the place, but has been shooting, and we trying to get y'all to come out and take care of it. And y'all you sit up here coming here looking at me crazy, like
y'all the villains.
Yeah, like we done something. Like, no, come take care of what you can to take care of. Leave me out of it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's just, that's literally how they view us, and that's what's so sad and scary at the same time.
True though. It's true. It's sad.
I'm gonna say, man, early in adult life, I know, like, yo, police around, I get pulled over, I put the big light on, put all the lights on in the inside of the car.
Yeah.
You know, and if I wild it out, is already there. I keep the stuff on the insurance and all that stuff up front.
Yep.
Or like I even like a lot of it like try to keep it on the phone, and it don't matter if you nice or even like I'm gonna say you can be nice with them. They already have an ideal,
right.
And I'm gonna just say it's like that with a lot of white people. Like I know with me personally, with a lot of white people, I have to. It's a perception they already have.
Yeah.
They don't know me. They already put a perception. I'm a big black guy. Some days I may look burly, and automatically it's like you gotta prove yourself to white people, which I don't understand that. Yeah. Cops, non-cops as well. Yeah. Even black cops, like they get this ego about them where they're immune to what's going on. Yeah. That's how I feel. Yeah. A lot of them feel that, seem that way. And like I'm telling you, I've been pulled over. Cop be like, yeah, like you tell your license plate lights is out. I'm like, what? I said, no way, bro. Like, he gave me everything. I got out, man, nothing wrong. It's just something. Like I'm gonna say, like, is a lot of it is policing where the locations you are in. Yeah. Like I'll just say, I live in the county. You ain't gonna really see much, But I go on the north side, might get pulled over. Yeah. Like just depending. Be on university, may get pulled over. Yeah. So to me, it's just more like, man, they automatically, no matter whether you're doing right or doing illegal, as a black man, you doing illegal until they prove otherwise. Yeah. And I'm telling you, man, I'm even this city, visiting other cities. Man, I was headed to Louisville one day. At the time I had a Benz. And I'm in traffic. I'm flowing with the traffic. Traffic is flowing. I'm flowing with the traffic. Cop pulled me over. And he said you was is it tailgating? Mm-hmm. He told me I was tailgating. And I'm like, buddy, I know I'm not tailgating, man. Yeah. Like, I'm flowing with traffic. Yeah. Like, so I can't be tailgating. And so I give him my information. He come back to me and says, well, I'm going to let you slide, just watch the tailgating, but how you keep your car so clean? And you know what I just said? I said? I had 2 business cards at the time. I gave him both business cards, and I said, these 2 jobs right here keep my car clean. and he got him, and I rode off. Yeah. And it's just like, it's a stereotype, man. Like, you can't even, I'm going to say, man, you can try to be low-key. I try to be very low-key. Mm. You could be, even if you're flamboyant or you're, like, driving in the fruits of your labor. Yeah. They're still going to mess with you. Yeah. And so, like, even, it's the crazy part now, like, man, you can't even tell your kid to just, hey, do right. No. Don't have no attitude with them. Have your stuff ready. It don't even matter. We watched Hear No Evil on Thanksgiving. Buddy, like, now dude was in the wrong. I don't know who's seen the movie, but he reached in the car. The officer told him don't reach in the car. Stay where he at. The girl in the car told him, he reached in the car, went down talking to her. She was like, yo, get back up there. He wanted to be pretty boy, grabbed the brush and brushed his hair.
You talking about the hate you give.
The hate you give. Yeah. And guess what? Yeah. Shot him. Thought the brush was a gun. Yeah. Don't know what it is, but I'm going to say, man, like, I'm not one of them, like, you don't shoot to kill. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're an officer and you think they have a gun, shoot them in the leg. Right. That way, at that point, whatever's in their hand, you get another few seconds to see what it is.
Few seconds.
I'm just being real. Like, I'm telling you, I bet his family would rather he shot him in the leg first.
Right.
You know, like, you shoot in the face, you aiming to kill, man. You got all this body, and you telling me you picked the smallest part on the body to shoot at? That's crazy. So, I'm not a fan of that. And, like, just, I don't even know how to, like, you know, my mom always told me what to do. You know, I call somebody. Whenever I get pulled over, I put them lights on, I call somebody and have them on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Just period. That's just my mentality. Even now as an adult, if nobody's in the car with me, calling somebody.
Yep.
Just being real, like, and it's not even that it's a fear. It's just I know I gotta take these steps just to make it back home. Mm-hmm. And you like, yo, I gotta do all of that. Like, this person is so. Come on, Siri. Shut up, man. This person is supposed to be working to protect me. Mm-hmm. And honestly, he's not working to protect me no more. He's working to, I ain't gonna say he's working to kill me, but he's working to put me in the system. Yeah. That's how I look at it. He want to put me in the, it's either you want to tie me up in criminal court situations, mm-hmm. You want to put me in the jail system, or you want to kill me. That's the only three options I see in a police officer. I don't see you protecting me. Like, I ain't calling, like, if I have to call the police, I'll call. Yeah. But if I don't have to call the police, I'm not calling them because you know why? Whenever they come up, they're going to see me. And they're going to be like, oh, he's a threat. Yeah, man. I'm just being real. Like, so, like, I would literally, if I have to call 911 or call the police, I'm going to have to let them know. I'm the big black man when you walk on this property. Yeah. I'm not the threat.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I'm just being real.
And tell them, like, yo, can you tell whoever coming to my house?
I'm the big 6'3" black man. Yeah. Like, I'm not the one, the problem.
And that's
I'm just being real.
That's crazy, bro. And I'll say this, like, and it's not even, like, and I'm not, this is not for me even trying to, like, demonize police officers. I'll say, like, the times I've been pulled over a total of, in Huntsville and Madison, a total of 4 times since I've been here. And I would say 3 of the times that I've been pulled over, the officers were like really nice. Every single one of them, all 4 times were white men. Nice every time. Well, nice 3 out of the 4 times. Like, one time was for because my tag light was actually out. It was Veronica's old car. Tag light was out, but she didn't have insurance on the car, so he didn't give me the ticket for the tag. For the light, he gave me the ticket for no insurance. Super nice guy. He ended up telling me go down there to throw it out. They didn't know, but hey, that's what he told me. Uh-huh. And then another time I got pulled over in Madison. I just left my sister's house when they were living out there, and it was me, my mama, and Veronica in the car, and I can't remember if anybody else was in the car. I think it was just us 3, and I was doing like 55 and a 45 or something like that. And so he pulled me over, asked me if I knew I was speeding. I didn't, and he got my stuff, went to the car, let me off for the morning. It was real nice though. And then another time I was pulled over was because my tag was expired, and this was in Huntsville off of Wind Drive. Mm-hmm. White guy, he was nice. I feel like something else that came up. Like, cause I heard somebody talking to him with the thing. I think something else came up. He let me off with a warning. Gotcha. Whatever. Nice guy though. Just told me to just go get it. But the very first time I was ever pulled over, I got an Explorer. I ended up bought an Explorer, and I was in my Explorer, and I was on the way from my house. I was living in Limestone to A&M's campus, and my brights were on, and I wasn't paying attention because I was eating. I was eating a sandwich and some Doritos, and the cop had got I noticed the cop had flashed his lights, but I didn't know what he was flashing them for. He's in the lane on the side of me and a few cars up. And then he slowed down to finally get in front of me, and then hit his lights. And I'm like, is that for me? And because I'm like, he was in front of me, like, so I'm confused, like, I ain't never speed up or nothing. So then finally we pulled over, and he came over there, and he came to the car just mad. Didn't you see me flashing my lights at you? And I'm just like, I didn't know it was for me. Like, he was on the side and in the front. And I was like, I didn't know it was for me. And I'm talking to a regular, but like, and it's funny because like now looking back on it, I would have handled it completely different after like all of these different things that happened. But like, I was sitting there talking to him and eating chips and like, I was literally grabbing Doritos out the bag and chewing and talking to him at the same time. And I was like, well, I didn't know that was for me. He was on the front, he was in the front or the side. And he was like, yeah, your brights are on. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. He was like, and he flipped the thing back to turn the brights off. He was like, is this even your car? And I was kind of offended. I was just like, yeah, do you want to see my registration and stuff? Like, cause he didn't ask for none of it. I was like, do you want to see my registration and stuff? No, I don't have to do all of that. And he was like, why wouldn't you get your price out? I was like, again, like I didn't know that was for me. I'm chewing the Doritos. I didn't know it was for me. You were 2 cars up ahead of me and on the side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how am I supposed to know you trying to get my attention? Like, you know. And so, anyways, he let me off with a warning. I mean, I don't really know what he would have gave me a ticket for, but he let me off with a warning too. But he just came to the car I rented. Yeah, but it was like. It was just funny because, like I say, now looking back on it, like, if I would have known what I know now, I know I would have handled that one differently. But that was back, like, I think that was like it was 2010? Yeah, it was 2010 when that happened. And so, like, you know, but looking back on it now, I would have handled it differently. But it was just, you know, I like I say, not to demonize police, like, because the encounters that I've had so far have been nice. I've been nice to them, they've been nice to me, except for that dude. But it's like, at the same time, it only take the one, like, you know what I'm saying? It only take the one, like, you know, you see the images and the videos and pictures and stuff every now and then on social. Yeah, you see them every now and then on social media of like the cops going out and playing with the kids and all of those good things. And it's like that's cool, but everybody ain't that.
I'm gonna tell you what I look at it as
publicity.
I look at it as publicity, and I look at it as when we see entertainers do turkey drives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just.
I can see that.
It's not like, I'm gonna just say this. Community policing is the structure that we supposedly are under. So if I'm in the community, I'm supposed to know the people in my community that I'm policing or patrolling.
Right.
And so that's something you should be doing anyway. That's not like, it's like, hey, oh, you paid the utility bill? Oh, give me some kudo points. High five me. No, man, you gotta pay the utility bill. Yeah. So you gotta know those kids in the area. Like, you shouldn't want, like, now I think it's more, they're building it where they want you to fear police. You know? So.
It shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be that way, but I say.
Have on them hats.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, when I was younger, I knew what time it was when a police officer didn't even ask me for my registration.
Yeah.
You know, they just want my license. Yeah. And I used to have to say, so you don't want my registration and insurance? Like, no, I'll just do your license. I know. And I say, yo, man, I pay that because of y'all. You know? And then they want to come and ask you. Then they want it. But it's really more, I'm telling you, man, it's like, same way with Ty. They got you for a license. We pull you over for a license plate. Like, violation. Just to, hey, let's see if you got insurance. You know, like, to find something else to get you on a bigger charge. So it's the same way, like, they can't pull you over, in so many words, like, cell phone. You get pulled over for the cell phone, they can use that, or a seatbelt. They can use that as the violation that I put the, what's the word they use? This is, I can't even think of the word, but this is the way to get into the car. Oh, he didn't have a seatbelt on.
Yeah.
So now I get to run his license. Oh, he got a warrant.
Yeah.
get you for the warrant situation. Whatever whatever is the bigger charge, that's what they're gonna get. Oh, well, I'm gonna give you a warning on this seatbelt, which is a $10 ticket. It used to be a $10 ticket, but now I'm gonna get you on. Oh, you don't got no insurance? Got you, you know? And I'm just being real, man. Like, and so I've had good experiences with cops. I had bad experience. And like my last 2 experiences have been like weeks apart. I had one happened in Mississippi in the summer.
I would not want to.
But you was with me?
No.
But listen, I was going to get deal for the summer. Buddy, I was booking it. I ain't lying. He was like,
he knew.
Yeah, I already knew when he got me. And he was like, he came into the car like, you wanna, what did he say? You wanna go down to blah 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 county? I'm like, no. I'm like, but I'm headed to Hattiesburg. You know? And he was like, nah, like, that's how they allow you to drive in Alabama? Just, you know. He was trying to get me irate.
Yeah.
To get irate with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just laughing. It's Sunday morning, man. Like 10 o'clock Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Like, now it's like, you know, you can have a long weekend. Cause the next day was like Memorial Day on Monday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I said, nah, man, I'm just trying to get to Hattiesburg. It was literally like 10 minutes from Hattiesburg.
Yeah.
And he got me a ticket. Ended up having to do class here. Then like a couple weeks later, about 2 weeks later, maybe, I was leaving here late for church. Sunday morning. He wasn't patrolling. He was actually just really going home probably or something. Man, but I came across that hump with that 4-way, like, you know, and, but I was booking it.
Yeah.
And he turned around. And man, I pulled into that subdivision. And he just asked me, he's like, well, you know, I said, well, I'm going to church, you know, and he got my license, and he was like, I said, yeah, man, I'm going to church or whatever. And he came back and he said, oh, you Jeff Garden, huh? He said, now he didn't see the one from Mississippi.
Oh.
Because I was going to class for that. That one was on hold. Okay. Thank God he didn't see that one. I told him, and he was like, you got a NASCAR record on you. And I was like, yeah, man. I said, I've been doing better though. You know, and I said, he was like, all right, I'm going to give you a warning. You know, just slow it down. And that's the only time I've ever been pulled over in 3 years back this way.
Okay.
You know, so, you know, some officers, they understand, but you got some, man, you know, it's more like you don't know what their day was like. Yeah. Or what they going through in life, and you got to deal with that. And like you imagine, I'm going to say this, man, imagine like younger black men who don't understand that type of stuff yet. Yeah. You know, that's not dealing with bills and they not like, you know, like that dude in the movie. He was too cool. The girl telling him, like, her daddy had already trained her, like, yo, this how you gotta operate. Yeah. He too cool for that, took his life. Yeah. And so, like, but with this situation, man, you know, in Birmingham, you want to see, and since we've been sitting here, AL updated say they shut down Highway 31 leading to the mall. You know, from marching tonight. And, you know, and you see stuff like that and it's like, when do it stop? Yeah. Or better yet, like, when as a community, we force it to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, you know, the best way to say it, how long this going to be relevant to us before we forget about it?
Like we do every time. I mean, and the thing is, social media exposes it so much more now than, you know, ever before, which is cool. And then you have people who do stuff like, you know, I mean, granted they get money off of it, but like you have people who like make T-shirts with the names, with, you know, with Sandra's name on it and Trayvon, and do different little things like that, which is all cool and stuff. And it's like it's keeping their names in people's mouths and on their minds and stuff, which is good. But like you say, like, and I think I said this earlier, but like, I feel like no matter what we do, it's never gonna stop. I feel like there are probably measures we can take to make it better, hopefully one day. But it's never gonna stop because there's always gonna be this stigma on us. Period. Like it's never going away. Like you see how far we are from slavery, from the Jim Crow era, from we so far away from it, yet
we still in it.
We still in it. So many mindsets have not changed, and so there are more people who keep it to themselves now because it is looked down upon. But just because it's a secret does not mean that it's not still prevalent and that it is not still an issue, because it's definitely still an issue. It's just that some people keep it to themselves, and you see it so many times where people who supposedly go through their day-to-day lives dealing with, and these are white people, dealing with black people and stuff like that, who may never say anything, and then they get upset at one person,
right?
And they come out. And then of course they have to back it up by saying I have a black friend, or I have a black friend, or I date a black person, or
I'm not. Listen, to me, a lot of that is fetish.
Yeah.
You date a black person, like a woman.
Yeah.
Like I always tell people this: a white woman date a black man, fetish. A black man date a white woman, reverse slavery. That's the ways I look at it.
Yeah.
He said,
I'm telling you,
but you're not alone in that. I know a lot of people.
It's like a black man. Most black men mess with white women for a power stroke. A white woman messing with a black man most times for the fetish of it, of what a black man can do or to be controlled. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say this. I'm okay with interracial dating. Yeah. I have nothing against it, but like when you gotta look at it as from the aspect of racism, it makes you wonder. Yeah. Like, because I've seen somebody married or dating another race, and it's that race, that person still has racist moments.
Yeah.
So
I honestly feel like, so I'll say on my behalf, like, I don't feel that way only because, like, me personally, I'm attracted to women, like, so, like, it don't matter really, to me, it don't matter what color they are. Like, if they're attractive, like, in my eyes, I'll just be like, you're attractive.
Oh, yeah,
I find a lot of women attractive,
but I would say that too. Like, I find some white women attractive. Yeah. But now, would I date out my race at my age now? Yeah. Probably not.
See, I'm cool. Like, I don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it.
But like, back in the day, I would have. Like, I never really. Yeah, like, I wasn't really around I was more so around black people. Like, for the most part, I was around some white women and stuff, but like that's mainly what I was around was black women. And so like, if I had the opportunity, like, yeah, I probably would have. But I'll say, like, I will say it is hard not to sit back and to kind of think that to yourself though, like, what is the reason behind you dating this person? And like I say, like, to me, I feel like part of that stigma that's on us, like this fear that they look at us, like when they look at us, that fear that they have, I also feel like it kind of commands a certain kind of respect. In a sense, and I feel like when we come into a room, that there is like this kind of, who is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of how scared they might be, sometimes that that fear in a sense does entice people. And so I can see that. Like, I can see where it is maybe a Caucasian female wants to feel like, this is black guy, like, you know what I'm saying? I know he's gonna be this dominant type of figure or whatever, and I can also see how some black men, but I also feel like there are many, like, I feel like there are a lot of different reasons. It could be, the whole thing where some black men end up saying that black women are too, they have too big an attitude and stuff. I like that sometimes though, but
feisty is good.
Yeah, I like that, but there are black men who will say that that's their reason for dating a white woman, or whatever the case may be, or I think it's a whole bunch of different things. It might be black women who say that they date white men because of you know, whatever things. But it's like there's always gonna be. I think there's gonna always be that stereotype on us, like certain stereotypes on us, just like there are certain stereotypes that we have on white people and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say we are racist. Black people are racist. White people are racist. But at the end of the day, the reason why white racism is highlighted more because it's systematic. You know, like it's black racism. Black people being racist to white people don't change any power struggle. White racism changes power. You know,
that's why a lot of people will say that black people can't be racist, because
I get why they say it, but at the end of the day, man, everybody racist, man. Listen, I'm sorry. When we in our families meetings are like in, you know, small group with friends and stuff like that, we talk about, like, you know, white privilege and, like, you know, how white people are, and I know they gotta talk about it with us when white people are in the reverse situation. But the ideal of it is, I can sit with white people and talk. Yeah. I can sit with black people and talk. Whoever, it's like, to me, it's more standing up for what's right. So, like, how they say is, if you ain't gonna talk about it and you just gonna let it slide, you're part of the problem. Yeah. So, like, I'm okay with saying, like, hey, when white people do something silly that the black community don't like, if it makes sense, I'm okay with saying, yo, man, they got a point.
Yeah.
But
I noticed that.
If they don't got a point, I'm gonna say it like, yo, it was dumb. But, you know, a lot of stuff, man, I'm telling you, like, we can't, I think I'll say this. I'm going to just speak on black people. A lot of black people get to a certain point in life where they forget the struggles of the people they left.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now, like, I only think this way, and I frown upon everybody who I left behind. And I think that's wrong. Like, I don't care how much money I make or how successful I get. I gotta remember the core or the foundation of how I got to that point. So I'm never gonna, like, I ran across this, I'm not gonna say the person's name, but I ran across this page today of this chick in Adamsville, Alabama. Black lady. It's Adamsville outside of Birmingham. And basically, she have become affluent. Mm-hmm. I maybe said that wrong. Somebody gonna tell me. But she basically, like, man, she got a picture, a cover page picture. Her husband, and her kids. Mm-hmm. Got Donald Trump shirts on. They campaign. They are outright Republicans. And, like, she has some valid points. But at the end of the day, what I say, from what I seen on that page, what I said to myself and another person who I sent it to today, I said, you know what, man? She just don't remember where she came from. She lost that aspect of life. Like, so I get, like, you start making a certain amount of money, you gotta start thinking a certain way. But I'll just say this, like, at the end of the day, you gotta speak up for what's right, what's wrong. And, like, I'm just gonna say, you can't be an outright Donald Trump supporter and you see the things going on, you know, and, like, same way, seeing something with the borders, you know, and, like, the Latino community, like, they celebrities, they talking about, you know, the world is watching and stuff like that, but, like, yo, just saying, the world's been watching.
Yep.
America's been this way. So it's more like, oh, it's finally happening to us. We need America, you know, everybody needs to be watching and trying to change this. But, like, yo, the black community has been the butt of jokes or the butt end of every situation in America, and nobody cared. And, like, now you got people waking up. But at the end of the day, you still got people waking up, but a lot of people waking up, even though they're waking up, their mentality is still slavery. Yeah. So, like, if you ever get, like, that one like slavery is mental as well physical. And so if you never break the mental of slavery and get freedom, and you start thinking as a free person, we gonna, like, the way we see the black community now, that's how we always gonna be.
Yeah.
Like, we don't, we'll say stuff like, right now, we're in Birmingham, they're marching for this young dude. What's gonna happen 2 weeks from now? Are they still gonna be this rah-rah? They gonna let it go, man. And like, next thing you know, he's just a memory. He's just another name added to that list of hands up, don't shoot. Yeah. Black Lives Matter. He's just another name. And like, when do we say, like, you know what? We gotta keep this going, the momentum going. It's like, it dies down, then next thing you know, like the Crump guy, not saying nothing against him, but he haven't really won no criminal case yet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he's the
go-to.
He's the go-to, like, best, what it say, he like the Al Sharpton and the Jesse Jackson for this era. But like, he ain't winning no criminal cases. Yeah. He probably got some civil cases. I don't know if he over civil cases, but they got money from civil. But ain't nobody going to jail. Like, these officers, nobody has broken the system to make it where these officers not protected. Yeah. And that's all it is. These officers are protected, where, we go in there, we let them overcharge them so they can be innocent on those charges. And then they break it down and like, it's a manslaughter, it's justifiable. You can't go in saying, this is a murder charge. Trumping the charges up too high, where when you go to court, you can't even prove that stuff. Yep. And that's how we're losing. But we're also losing because we don't care. At the end of the day, like, we talk about it, then next thing you know, hey, you know what? I'll just say, what's the next hot topic? Yeah.
I think that what happens a lot of times is like, and so I look at people like Trayvon Martin's family and stuff like that, and it's like you still see them at certain like rallies and events and stuff like that, which I think is very, very, very important, because at some point, without media attention, it's gonna die down regardless. So it's like, it's important for, like, if something like that, to me, if something like that happens to somebody in your family, or even if it's somebody you don't know and you just become like a part of the situation and you've been kind of going hard for it, it's important to continue to go hard. It's important to support those types of things. But I think what happens a lot of times outside of that is that we as a community, what ends up happening is we're mad, and it's like, we so frustrated and we tired of this and we tired of that. And it's like, we're about to go hard for it for about a month. And then after the month is over, we get to the point where we back in our community and we just like, yeah, I remember when this happened to this person. So now it's F the police and I can't stand them. And anytime something that reminds me of this situation comes up, that's what it's always going to be. But you have to kind of continue on with that fight. Like, you got to kind of continue on, like, punching forward and stuff, So I think that's what happens a lot of the time. And so, like I said, I mean, it's gonna be tough because regardless of how we look at it, we as black people, especially as black men, we're gonna be the underdog. We're gonna be the underdog. So
respect the underdogs.
We got to, and we got to show them why.
Yeah.
Any last questions, fellas? Comments?
No, this was a good one, man. This was a good one.
Like this one.
Good one? All right. Well, I'm gonna drop a Sonyaism.
You heard me.
I heard
People hear me.
So no, they don't let us know. You barely talk today, but hey.
That's fine. Sometimes he...
I'm gonna drop, man. Hey, hit us with a Do-Rag Zaddy Chronicles. Email us, thepressedonionpodcast@gmail.com. Any topic, if you feel like you want us to talk about a certain topic, email it to us. We open for all discussions. You know, so my Sonyaism, man, and it's crazy. I posted this on the 18th of November without even knowing, you know, this was gonna happen. But diversity is a hard conversation to have, and so you know, that's crazy because I was talking about another situation about white and black, you know, and I'm gonna tell you, man. You know, I get in front of a lot of people, and a lot of people of other nationalities will, like, literally think I'm a nobody or not have any value. And, you know, they'll put you in a position just to say we got a black person there, you know? And that gotta stop because at the end of the day, man, it's a lot of people that can bring value to organizations or situations, and we're just looking at their outer. We're not trying to get to know them. You know what I'm saying? And it's best to cross-pollinate with people. You know, like get to know them, like talk to them and find out who they are, or like what their expertise is, or you know. And we don't because. Black guy. Hey, I'm telling you, I do not fit the criteria of nothing professional. I don't wear suits. I don't wear ties. I rarely wear dress shoes. You know.
You wear dress shoes?
I got 2 pairs. I got a brown and a black pair. They're the same shoes. And I only red every blue. You know, but is you gotta get away from thinking people like whatever you consider the norm, like no matter, like I'm telling you, man, like anybody, like I'm gonna just say, you can look at how they say in church, come as you are, and people will not take you for what you are when you come because you're not wrapped the way they want you to be wrapped up. You know, you don't present yourself as, you know, oh, I'm in this suit or I'm in this tie and I'm dressed up because I'm around this type of people. Like, you gotta be yourself. And people gotta accept you for who you are in life. Yeah. But that's, Sonyaism is, again, diversity is a hard conversation to have. And there it is. That's episode 8 for you people. We're gonna drop it real soon. And next episode, we're gonna talk about sexual health. Got a lady coming in from Thrive, Alabama. Okay. It's they're a nonprofit, and they do a lot of HIV testing, or STIs or STDs testing, for the state of Alabama. And so we're gonna drop this before we do that show. So if you got something, if you hear this and want to talk about on that show, let us know. Anything sexually related, we're gonna talk about it. Dope. And there it is. Podcast. It's a wrap. 8. Oh. Man, but what I was gonna say on that case in Birmingham, it's gonna be a big situation, bro.
It better be.
It better be. Listen, like, podcast 8. Because